Happy New Year, fuckers.
Welcome to 2022, breadheads. This is the year
Redheads.
that you'll maybe get a girlfriend. We're so excited for you.
This is the year where you finally will make a sandwich resolution that will benefit your body, and you're not gonna keep eating the meatball. Probably, probably not. We don't know.
Do you have any sandwich resolutions for yourself this year, Eric?
Ooh, sandwich resolutions include for me this year. Hmm, let's see, sauce.
Less sauce.
We're gonna go
Now
less sauce this year.
that's I would say that's wet and wild, but it's actually the opposite. That's pretty dry and tame of you.
hmm
What's
You already know
prompting
I'd be
this?
dry like the Sahara.
You dried out, yeah. You getting sauce from something else? You getting your wet fix from something else?
That's right. I think, I mean, haven't thought about this answer at all, so
Just
so
off the cuff.
bear with me here, Ty. But
We'll
I
work
think
through it together.
we're gonna workshop this live on the pod. We're starting this. The last episode of 2021 is coming to a real rocky start here, but we're gonna we're
Mhm,
gonna we're gonna cruise right on through this.
mhm, mhm. One bite at a
Um,
time.
yeah, let me just make sure my calendar's free for the rest of the day. It is. Okay, good. Um, So Ty, I think in 2022, we're gonna leave behind all of our demons and
Mhm,
we're going to come into 2022 with a fresh slate. And now that the coronavirus is confirmed fake, we can, unleash our taste buds once again and taste the ingredients of a sandwich rather than just masking them with various sauces.
mhm, mhm. So we're trying to get to the root of the sandwich, where the lettuce touches the soil.
hmm Exactly. We're pairing it back to the veggie undelightful, and we're gonna build up from the ground this time. Um, you know what? I think that's like the safe Subway in 2022. The fact that this
Mhm,
sandwich restaurant is still alive blows my mind.
mhm. I completely agree, and I really like this approach that you're taking, a new start in 2022 to kind of reinvent your relationship with the sandwich. The sauces are all pretty superficial anyways, you know? And I don't think
Exactly.
we need that kinda energy in our lunch. We
hmm
just want an honest dialogue with our sandwich, and nothing's going to get in the way of that like a sauce will.
Exactly. Are you really ordering the you know, BMT or are you ordering the sweet onion?
Mhm, exactly.
Why do they
But
make you say like BMT? Just tell me the sauce.
you should start your order by saying the bread type and sauce type you want, and then select your meat later. It's so
Wow.
backwards.
It's so backwards. But you know what? You know how this falls apart? The toasting tie. You can't go into halftime when you already played the fourth quarter, bro. Like you got to start the game in the first quarter, and you got to enter your meat selection, enter the cheese selection, toast it up at halftime, right?
Mhm, mhm,
Maybe Dua Lipa's performing. You know what I'm saying at halftime,
mhm, mhm.
and then the second half of the Super Bowl commences.
You just have to reorganize the like, the break in the sandwich production. Perhaps we're not working on a half-time basis with 2 ha equal length halves between the toasting. Perhaps we
Yeah.
take the toasting, move it up a little bit, and we use more of a period system, and maybe there's 2 periods where you get the chance to double toast later on. A second
hmm
a second go at the toaster. So,
Wow, that's
let
true.
let me break this down for you. You order bread and sauce. First toast, sounds great, right? Because like, all you're
Sounds
doing is you're
awful.
warming up your sauce. Hot sauce, we'll call it. You like hot sauce?
I do not in this sense. I don't know, Ty. Warm sweet onion sauce. I think
Mhm,
the great thing about sauce is it balances out everything else, bro. Like, listen, we got some hot chicken cooking up, it's steaming in there, and you got
mhm.
some like others kind of cold to like balance the whole experience out. It's all about sandwiches are all about like balance and juxtaposition, right? We don't want like all hot stuff. This is not a grilled cheese. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? This is a
This is a
sandwich. We
Subway
want
sandwich.
this is a Subway sandwich, Ty. We want hot chicken or hot whatever. In your case, a hot veggie patty,
Yeah.
and then you want some cold, and you want that dance in your mouth. You know what I mean?
So, so you're telling me that the reason you add sauces to your sandwich is to cool down the temperature? See,
I wouldn't say it's the.
I don't believe in this because that's what I use my tomatoes for. And I don't seldom have
Mm,
to do it because all the protein options that I get at Subway are already frozen. So I'm looking to heat that up more. I need to add Southwest. I need to triple toast. Get me some hot sauce in there. The marinara is
hmm
great for that because it kind of simmers your cold, ice cold falafel patty or your frozen veggie patty puck in the marinara sauce. That's why I always do this because then like it's this bed of warmth. It's like a crock pot for your protein.
hmm Wow, you're so right. It's like, you cook the meatballs and then you put them back in the sauce after, when the sauce
Hmm.
is just finishing up. It makes so much sense. I guess context here is important, Ty, because you know, pull every trick out of the book to keep that veggie patty from refreezing. Because the toaster it can't penetrate the dense herbs and cheese that's on top and on bottom.
Hmm. It's a force field.
hmm what's your sandwich resolution for 2022?
Yeah, I thought long and hard about this.
Clearly.
I think that my sandwich resolution, Eric, for 2022 is to stop eating the inches when I start to feel full. Just because
Oh.
I order 12 inches doesn't mean I need to consume 12 inches. It's okay to throw 2 inches in the garbage at the end or offer them to a homeless man outside, a bum.
hmm Ty, you are a natural storyteller because you had me hanging on the edge of a cliff there. I was gonna say if you talked about packing the sandwich for later, I would have to end the call right here because that's a sin in our books. You said throw it out in the garbage. That makes that just means that means the world to me.
I'm glad to hear it, Eric. The
Mhm.
other option is I could just leave it on the table.
Oh my God. I love this. I love this. Why? So okay, this is we're getting into it today, boys. Listen, Subway's
And
fast
girls,
casual. This let's just be honest.
let's be real with ourselves.
The girls who would listen to this are like the kind that say like, "Oh yeah, I have like more guy friends than I get along better with guys." It's like shut the fuck up. um. Anyway, so right? They
Hmm.
ask you to tip. They sometimes give you a bread basket to put your sandwich in, which makes no
Hmm.
sense.
Hmm.
They make you take it to your table.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, they do takeout, but they offer plenty of seating.
Hmm.
Um, why do I have to clean up after myself?
Hmm. They should have someone bussing the table.
hmm They probably do. Just no one like eats there.
Hmm.
So they said, "Hey, get behind the line and help out."
I think like we should start this trend of leaving our loose papers and unfinished sandwiches on the table because they're taking out the artist takes out the trash. We have visual evidence of it. Our like podcast cover slash NFT official NFT is a bag of trash that was being taken out by an artist themselves. So if they're already on the way out the door with trash, it makes sense for them to just swing by our table and grab it on the way.
I would love for them to be like a flight attendant with like for first responder frontline worker gloves on, and to say like, hey, are you any garbage I can collect here? And you say yep. You just like shovel it into like their dim sum cart full of garbage
Hmm.
and just wheel on past you like,
Hmm.
yep, thanks. and that's it. I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to be like the kind of customers who are like extremely nice to them and like maybe even tip, but then like make a huge mess.
Oh
I think that'd
yeah.
be like a cool brand move. Like it's like they love us, and then like or like we show up and they're like mad because they like see us and like oh fuck like these guys always leave a mess. But then we talk to them and then they like realize like oh we're actually like really nice and fun,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
we leave the counter making them feel good, and then we just like bounce and we have like swoops like Southwest sauce like all over the table. There's like half a cookie on the ground.
You're literally describing my strategy when I book an Airbnb.
Oh fuck, you're playing with fire there, buddy. That cleaning fee is no joke.
It's no joke. But uh, I do hypothesize two possible problems with this type of table side garbage collection.
Okay.
The first problem, Eric, that I hypothesize is that they're going to come by before you're ready to give them anything. You're going to be 5 inches deep into the first half of your foot long, and they're going to be trying to swoop in and collect your trash. And you're
Oh
going to have to say
no,
with a mouthful of BMT, no, no, I'm not ready. No,
that's the
not done
worst.
yet. That's the worst. I hate that at all restaurants.
That's true. I did pull up to the old Feeney restaurant, Cactus Club,
Mm-hmm.
and it was nonstop. Can I get you something? I'm like, can you leave me alone? I was actually working, writing, trying to write a description for the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
last two podcast episodes, which we fumbled out the door because we were both away.
Mm-hmm.
Was trying to write out. I was trying to cook, while sitting inside the Cactus Club, and clearly I'm working, but lady kept trying to come by to get my order, and I mean I don't know what to say. Like clearly I'm busy. Like I told her come back at happy hour. I sat down at 1, and I was like I need an hour. Can you just come back at 2 when it's happy hour? And then she said no problem. I'll be here at 2:01. I said I didn't say
Wow.
2:01. I said 2.
Don't be late.
Don't be late. Okay,
Damn.
be on the fucking dot. I'm trying to order my sangria and my bacon cheddar burger with truffle fries.
Wow. So you were really squatting out there for the day, camping out. It's not
I was
unlike
camping out.
every Thursday night when you're outside the Adidas store waiting for the next morning.
Real ones know that the drops happen at Saturday morning.
Oh,
Um,
do they?
yeah, dude. If it was on a weekday, it'd be too easy because you get up early anyway.
That's a good point. They want to challenge you. They want to wait till you're hungover.
They know that high school students, they want to sleep until 3 and things like that. So if you
Yeah.
really want a pair of sneakers, like you're gonna get up at 6.
That's more brand propelling for Adidas anyways, because they don't want high school students wearing their good shoes, you know? You want like affluent 20 somethings in that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Young professionals.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how
In
the
creative
cycle goes,
industries.
though. That's how the cycle goes, though, because you have like young kids who camp out, right? Because they have nothing better to do. Like they literally
Mm-hmm.
have zero responsibility. So they said, like, yeah, I can sit outside on Granville Street for 9 hours straight,
Mm-hmm.
and eat Burger King, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
every hour. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's no problem. And then, the young professionals such as us, Ty, we, frequent sites like goat.com, and we just like buy it off of them. And like we're paying a premium,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't have to stand there like idiots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the beauty of money. You can turn it into grails.
That is the beauty of money. You can convert it straight into a grail,
A bit of
one to one.
yeah, you're swapping currencies. Not unlike turning your paycheck into Bitcoin every 2 weeks.
hmm Exactly. What's a better asset? It's a question.
What are my options?
What is a better investment? But that's crazy because there's like a 16-year-old money selling sneakers, and you have a crypto.
Yeah, it's a
Dude, there's
shame.
literally a kid living at home. with like just like a wall in his basement. Like they live in a basement suite, obviously.
Obviously.
The entire wall is just Nike shoe boxes or like Yeezy boxes, and
Hmm.
like they're probably making like more than we do on this podcast and more than us in crypto combined.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right, but they are working, they're hustling and grinding, Eric. They're grustling to get those Yeezys online and then shipped out to other sad teenagers like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
Once we're filling a
my
void,
my
like
cr-
much like us.
yeah, for me, podcasting is a passion more than it is a occupation, and crypto is a passive income source. I don't need to actively manage my portfolio. I just set it and forget it, you know? That's what the whole point of smart contracts is. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. That is true,
So,
and
that kid's
you
wasting
you
his
said it,
time.
brother. That's true. I guess we do hustle 9 to 5, and then like this is just for pleasure, baby. Any
Mhm.
like any anchor money that comes through is, you know, going straight back into Subway's pockets.
Mhm. It's not even a podcast, it's a pleasure cast.
Exactly. Um,
I have
yeah, I
a
don't know.
one I need to close out this thought from earlier, Eric. I have one
hmm
more issue that I hypothesized with table
Please,
with you.
please.
All right. The second thing is if we abandon our sandwich with a few inches left, as I aspire to do over the next year, or
hmm
even simply the garbage itself, speckled with little dablets of sauce and loose black olives, forgotten green peppers, maybe the sole cucumber slice. What we're leaving behind is a paper trail of our previous decisions. And I think that's potentially to leave that behind because it's evidence of like what we ordered and that we were there. So if there's like like
Mm,
I have a very signature approach to sandwich making. So if somebody else walked in that Subway, saw my trash there, immediately that looks like a Thai signature sandwich.
wow, yeah. And one of your like fangirls could like reach into the garbage and take a bite.
I That's the last thing I want is them flipping that online.
hmm it's kind of like what Drake said, like flushing the magnum so they don't collect my specimen.
It's literally exactly what I'm thinking, Eric. You
hmm
always have a lyric for my problems.
I mean, I've never once, before this podcast, I couldn't honestly say that I related to Drake whatsoever. But now that we are, media influencers, influencers, Ty,
Influencers.
um, I can totally relate. And never before have I, listened to a Drake song and been like, yeah, that describes my situation perfectly.
Hmm. So if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. That's why we make our own sandwiches at Subway. But that's also why I think we need to handle the extermination of all evidence of our visit.
hmm
I don't think we can
Exactly.
trust an artist to do that, just like we can't trust them to make the sandwich in the first place.
Much like camping, it's, the motto is leave no trace.
Hmm. Take only memories.
Exactly. Take only memories. Uh, take what you bring. Oh, whatever that shit is.
Mm. It's kind of like you walk out of that Subway, not unlike a drug smuggler with a foot-long tube of sandwich in your stomach, hiding in plain sight.
hmm Exactly. Um, what you bring in. Are we, experimenting with bringing our own veggies this year?
Yes, I am so
We've,
excited for this.
yeah, we've talked about this a bit in the past, where like we'll bring, a nice little baggie, um, and potentially assemble like, a nice little add-on situation for our sandwiches. Have you thought about like what you might bring to the table, literally?
I haven't really came to a conclusion on which vegetables or toppings I'd like to supply, but I would like to promote format to you.
hmm
The
Okay,
format
let's hear
is
it.
you and next visit to the old way, you and I shall both bring one additional ingredient from home for the other person's sandwich. And then, as a we will build a sandwich around that ingredient. How does that sound to you?
Wow, I love this. I absolutely love this. I'm gonna bring you some bacon strips.
Thank you. I'll throw them away.
Yeah, and it'll be like a trust game. Like you have to trust that these are vegetarian bacon strips.
Cool. You
Yeah.
know what I did? I did the other day? I like shaved carrot and then
God damn it, dude.
I was able to kind of simulate a bacon strip with shaved carrot. Isn't that cool? Damn, I'm such an innovator.
Wow, did you get that from fucking what's like a what's like a cuck
Like Joseph
recipe book?
Gordon-Levitt? Oh. You meant like a recipe book. Oh, she glows, maybe?
I don't know, dude. I don't read those. I just freestyle in the booth.
Mm,
But that's actually, all jokes aside, that's pretty innovative, Ty.
thank you. So maybe if you're bringing me the strips, I'm gonna bring you the carrot strips.
I would actually like to use that. Did you
Wild.
achieve like a good crisp?
No, it was pretty fatty.
God damn it. Um, that's awesome, Ty.
So
What do
and
you
I'll think of some other ingredients that are gonna be good for you. Something that really like
mhm.
uh challenges you mentally.
I am mentally challenged, so
Yeah,
it's perfect. It's a perfect fit.
it won't be that hard.
Mhm. God damn it. Um, Ty, it is New Year's Eve.
Yes, at time of recording, it is the last day of 2021. What does that
Mhm.
mean for Think Fresh podcast, Eric?
Yeah, what does it mean for us? I don't know. It's been a long year. You know, when did we start this shit? In like July or something? So we were like a year
Hmm.
and a half in. But
Incredible.
nevertheless, you know, the new year is a great time for reflection.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't even know if we did this for our 1 year anniversary, Ty, but I think we could go back into the archives because I am a documentation whore and I love to document all the topics that we talked about.
You've
Um,
documented every topic. That's incredible.
yeah, I would say almost every. But I thought we could go back to the beginning and just go through quickly like the top topics that we talked about.
I
What say
love that
you?
idea. Yeah, hit me with one of them. What was one of your top topics in previous seasons of this beautiful podcast?
Okay, so listen, we're gonna go all the way back to episode 3 for this one because this was the first one that I actually had written down. Ty actually like sprung this podcast on me out of nowhere, and I was not prepared, so that's why it starts at number 3.
Okay.
But I think one of my favorite topics ever was, would you ever go to Subway alone?
Ooh, yeah, that was a great topic.
Hmm.
I think the answer still stands 120 episodes later that no, I will not.
Yeah, there's not a fucking chance. Imagine someone walking in on you. Like, would you rather be walked in on like playing pipe or getting piped?
uh, that's a good. Both are good questions. Either way, I would rather piping happen than me piping back a sandwich.
Exactly, a piping hot veggie patty.
Hmm. That was a great episode. I really,
Absolutely.
I really liked our the creme de la guest, our episode with the blue check Jason Stewart. I believe that was episode 17.
Oh, you damn right it is.
Yeah, I thought we had some really nice conversations about
Hmm.
Subway orders, Glendale, ugh, relationship with food. It's just
Hmm.
a smart conversation, a meeting of the minds.
A meeting of great podcasting minds. Friend of the pod, Jason Stewart. Thank you for believing in the movement so early on. Um,
Hmm.
what else did we talk? Oh, we mentioned the Travis Scott burger. This was like
Hmm.
breaking news at the time.
Breaking
And then
news.
he
Yeah.
ended up writing an article about it and him trying it. So I would like to, formally on the record take credit for inspiring that article.
Hmm. I'm going to jump up a little bit here, Eric, and give you another one of my top moments of Think Fresh podcast.
Let's
Uh,
hear it.
our episode 100 trip to Subway, our first trip to the way since starting the podcast. Now, that was an experience. We Instagram lived it.
Oh
We
my God.
both ordered a foot long. We even tried the notorious s'more flavored cookie.
Hmm. That was a wild day. We learned, that the COVID protocols were good.
Hmm.
Um, they had extra sneeze guard.
Hmm.
The toaster clearly hadn't been used in a long time. It had a cold start. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, we ended up feeling like shit, and we had a probiotic the next day. So I don't know. All I can say is that was a experience. Shout out to
Hmm.
all the breadheads that tuned into the live. Lisa, you.
What else we got here? I really enjoyed, I believe it was sometime between episode 105 and 115, the Subway tuna fish controversy.
Oh
That
yeah.
was like a really nice gesture of Subway to give us that episode material. It was an ongoing conversation for quite a few episodes. It really
Hmm.
kept this podcast running.
I have a theory that anything that happens to Subway in the news is directly because they planted it for us.
Mm,
Obviously, somebody at Big HQ is listening, and they said, Let's feed the streets." Let's make sure
mhm,
that
mhm.
the podcasters have something to talk about.
Keep the rumor mill spinning.
Hmm. Exactly. Another great theory. Speaking of the Super Bowl earlier, uh, the weekend performing at the Super Bowl was a celebration of Subway.
Mhm. Yeah, that was way back in episode 50 something, 58.
58. Yeah. So obviously Bill Belichick, NFL's most overrated coach, uh, became Subway spokesperson. Couldn't get to the Super Bowl without Tom Brady, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, and then the weekend, obviously, is Subway's number one artist being played in
Mhm.
in restaurant.
Subways across North America are constantly bumping the tracks from After Hours. I'm here
Hmm.
for it.
Hmm. Um, Another great guest appearance that we had this year was our boy Toasty.
Mhm.
That was a wild ride. Our
Yeah,
first ever
Toasty
sandwich
of
artist to hop on
Toasty
the pod.
Productions. A
Yeah,
real sandwich artist.
a real life sandwich artist who got
He
fired.
still I really actually I like that episode. I would also say that was one of my top moments of Think Fresh podcast from 2021 because that episode taught me so many terms about Subway. Having a spy, an inside man. He taught us about the bread retarder, the referencing the line, which we've now used in episodes afterwards.
Hmm.
Uh, so I really like got my syntax up.
Exactly. We got him to snitch a little bit, to whistle blow, which was fun.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, after
yeah, good
after
good
that
guy.
episode 56, we had to extradite him. That
Yeah, yeah. He's my roommate currently now.
yeah. Wow.
Amazing.
While we're on the topic of great guest episodes, the most recent guest we had on the podcast was without a doubt a highlight of my Think Fresh year. That was Andreas Arends,
Oh yeah.
aka the museum curator of the Disgusting
Hmm.
Foods Museum in Malmö, Sweden, episode 87, Fried Testicles. We discussed what makes foods disgusting, what he eats at Subway, and all sorts of fun Swedish culinary delicacies like beef tongue and IKEA meatballs.
Incredible.
The IKEA meatball, Eric, would actually be do you think that's a better meatball than the Subway meatball? If you had to rank the two meatballs.
Hmm. I don't know because the meatball at Subway is actually very good. The only
Is
issue
really
is
good.
when you put it in a sandwich.
Mhm. The problem
You know what
is
I'm
the
saying?
sandwich.
The problem is the sandwich. Like the bread was not designed whatever yoga mat they chose was not
Mhm.
built for holding meatballs. It was only built for like um like A tier vegetables, you know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
meats.
You know what would be a cool move, Eric? If you took the cursed mac and cheese side at Subway, and then you dolloped some marinara sauce on it, and then you added a few of the meatballs, you could have a full pasta lunch.
I love it. I don't know what else to say to that, but I love it.
I'm gonna try it. Actually, I'm not gonna try it because I don't eat the meat. But really, is there any meat in that ball? I think it might just be ground up lentil disguised as meat.
Hmm. Um, we talked about bagels.
Yes.
People who might be just tuning into this shit, like episode 100 and up, they they don't realize that we know our shit. We talked about everything so far. Like everything we've
Mhm.
talked about, we've gone deep on. We've uncovered some Subway mysteries. We've dissected countless sandwiches, countless breads,
Mhm. True
ingredients.
journalism.
Yeah, real journalism right here. We talked about bagels and you know, why do they even exist? They taste good, but the whole is just inconvenient.
Mhm.
And how there's actually a beauty in the inconvenience. Not everything needs to be easy, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, that was my bagel phase, actually. I remember now.
Yeah,
I
I
went through a
remember
big
that
bagel
too.
phase.
Yeah, we've grown and we've learned over the last year of podcasting, Eric, and I think it's something very special. I'm hoping to grow more in the coming year. Go
Hmm.
a few inches deeper.
Hmm.
I
We talked about bowls,
Yeah, of course we talk about bulls. Talked about
always bowls.
basically every possible type of fluids, bowls, plates,
Got that.
wood cups. Um, I will say one of my
I was
favorite.
reading. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, no, no.
I'm just reading at this list now. Uh, you're a calm guy. What would make you yell at a sandwich artist?
I
That was
remember
something I
that
had written
question.
down. Hmm.
What episode was that? Episode 49.
God damn it. I don't know why it's so funny to me. Yelling at a minimum wage employee is always sad but funny. Um,
That's what they knew what they were getting into when they got in that line of work.
mhm. What were you about to say?
I was gonna tell you that one of my favorite Think Fresh episodes is actually going way back to our roots. Episode 7, Live
I
Fresh,
knew
Be
it.
Fresh. That's when you and I broke down the symbolism behind the Subway logo and offered a future brand trajectory of Subway that took them in down the
For
two
free.
most for free. Yes, this is free marketing advice. Down the two paths that will put them at the epicenter of culture. Live
Hmm.
Fresh representing a free and healthy lifestyle, Be Fresh representing a connection to the scene.
The scene.
Hmm.
Um, I love it. And we also had big audio problems. So I actually recorded a monologue explaining what it meant.
Yeah, it was early days,
Early
accurate days.
days. Yeah. Before we knew how to pair AirPods.
Hmm. Look at us now.
We actually like broke down a lot in that episode. We talked about
Mm.
like how the subway line, and I'm not talking about where the meats are stored, but the the actual lineup, and how it's a great way to like observe regular culture, like that you get a quick pulse check, a quick snapshot of like what the world is outside of your bubble, COVID or not.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good chance to see like what wash of jeans most guys are wearing.
Hmm. Exactly. You get to see like how they've assembled their Carhartt fits, um, what
Hmm.
legging colors are in style.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Whether people wear their hoodies zipped up or unzipped.
hmm like women in camo leggings and sandals, like things
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, all sorts of unusual pairings. Yeah, so if you're a new breadhead, or even if you're an old breadhead, I'd revisit episode 7 for some really double meaty topics.
Hmm. Absolutely. Wow, we have a lot of gold in here, bro. It's pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. And it's
Hmm.
also a little bit triggering to read this because um it's like early pandemic days. We
That's
gotta stop
true.
we gotta stop referring to it as accurate days, but it's pandemic days because
Pandemic days.
we were in a weird place when we started this podcast. Like I was like biking to the grocery store, doing shit like that.
That's right. You were washing your heirloom tomatoes with soap.
That's right. I would dip them in bleach. Um,
Hmm.
and that's probably why I have weird ideas now.
I think so. Well, we're going into season 3 of the pandemic, so we'll see how
Hmm.
that goes. Usually shows get worse with age. I don't think this will be
That's
any
true.
exception.
That's true. I think it'll be okay though. We've proven that we can't be fucked with, and this podcast is here to stay.
Yeah, this
Much like
podcast doesn't have
Maybach.
a vaccine. It's still kicking.
Exactly. This podcast is not double vax, but you do get a double dose of two handsome young men.
Our voices are so handsome.
Oh yeah. I mean, you just like hear someone's voice and you just picture what they look like.
What do you how tall do you see me?
Minimum 6'4". Like if David Spade was 6'4", I think that's what I see. Or
That's
like, Roman from the show Succession. There's
I,
that
I
energy.
don't
But if
I don't
but if only he was like 30 pounds heavier and like more buff, um, and like have to like duck his head down when he entered a room. Like that kind of energy.
right.
Huge dick is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. I feel like when I hear your voice, and this is what makes you such a good podcast host for this particular podcast. If you can imagine if Tom Brady and Jared Fogle like both shared
God
a
fucking damn
nephew,
it.
that's you. And you don't want to
I
be
think
Jared
that's so
Fogle's
me.
nephew, though.
No, absolutely not. Because who knows which 15-year-old gave birth to me? That's wild, bro.
Hmm. Beautiful.
Damn, that is not beautiful.
It's a disaster. It's a beautiful disaster. It's 12 inches
Yeah.
of sandwich. It's Things Fresh podcast. It's another year of recording with you, King. I'm
Hmm.
happy to be here.
Hmm. Another year. You think we'll ever reach 100 years? Much like Maybach.
I think we might at this rate. We got
At
a
this
good
rate, I think we
trajectory.
will. Exactly. I can't see us not doing that actually. Like we're both gonna be 128 years old and be recording like episode 9,000 or something.
Hmm. Yeah, and the Subway menu will have changed very little.
Hmm. Or who knows, we might be the CEOs of Subway by then.
Wow, that would be pretty special.
Oh fuck. The
I,
fact
I,
that
I
you
would
had the
ship that.
genuine smile on your face when I said that makes me really happy too, Ty.
Yeah, I would franchise into shape. I would fix a few things. If I was in
Hmm.
charge, things would be very different.
Hmm. And then they couldn't even practice ageism against us because uh, we would be old as shit and calling the shots while like limping out of the boardroom.
Hmm. Well, if we maintain our foot-long diet for another 100 years, I think I'll look the exact same. Veggie
Exactly.
delight, my guy.
All those preservatives will, have you looking like a Botoxed, Arnold Schwartz.
Yeah, we got girls out here trying to get Botox every month, but little do they know the vegetables are free.
Exactly. The Veggie Delight should be a free sandwich.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, King. On that note, I am going to leave you until next year.
Wow. I'm not ready to let go, Ty. It's gonna be a while to reconvene in 2022. Um, I'm almost tempted to do a 12-hour marathon. We can say that we've been podcasting since last year.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not as committed as you to this project, but if you want to take this one on your own, the Breadheads can listen to the meat or watch the meatball drop night at midnight PST.
I will be on IG Live dropping a meatball sandwich from my roof. And it's gonna go splat.
Splat, splat.
Splat. Splatty, splat, splat. Ty, we did drop 2 episodes same day last Tuesday. I gotta say we dropped the meatball yet again, and we forgot to post on Friday because Ty and I were busy, with the in-laws and whatnot. So, but you do get 2 episodes for the price of 1 weekday. So we dropped a little coupon for the Breadheads, but yeah, go check that out. Check out this episode. You already did. We love you.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah.
My Breadheads.
And my Breadheads. A couple of breadwinners, if you ask me.
Yeah. You are the real breadwinners, our fans, for sticking with us another year of Think Fresh podcast.
Absolutely. Okay, King. It's been a slice.
You as well. Follow us. Shoot us a tweet. And we'll see you next year.
See you next year.
Ciao.
Goodbye.